Today we're going to unbox and play around with the Gozney Roccbox, which is one of the most popular portable pizza oven on the market today. And while this oven can work both with wood and with gas, today we're going to try the gas version. Opening it up, we've got some of the key highlights of the Roccbox, which we're going to try and play around with a little bit later. A little recipe book, but we already know all this kind of stuff. And right off the bat, it comes with a pizza peel. And that's pretty cool because ovens like the Ooni, you need to buy it separately. So it's quite cool that this one comes with it. It's nice, seems very sturdy, and I'm sure it's the right size. And we got a little bottle opener, which is a nice touch. We're going to be using this a lot later. Everything is tightly packed. Little handle. Ooh. Actually, let's put this on the floor and lift it up. There is effectively no assembly to be done. Everything comes in one piece, which is good. We can peel away the warning. Pretty much says don't use it inside, but I think we all know that. And if you don't know that, you probably should not buy a pizza oven. So this comes off. And now let's check out the gas burner. User manual. Everything is neatly tucked away. This is our piece with our connector. I think it's the time. We're going to check out the user manual, see how this thing gets installed. Okay, vertical, legs down, twisty, stuck it in. I think we can manage. Let's do this. Ooh, so we lift this vertically. All right, so this thing has these three round bits, which we align them and we twist. And you hear a little ting when it goes into place. While we have it in this position, let's open it up. And these are some really heavy duty legs. This is nice and sturdy. They're tough to open up. Really shows some good quality in the materials. This is not gonna go anywhere once it's opened. The pizza stone in the Gozney is fixed to the machine, so it's not interchangeable like the Ooni. All around, the materials are absolutely great. You got this safe touch silicone jacket, which is going to help once this is scorching hot to avoid any major burns. Little temperature gauge, so you know what temperature you're cooking. This is the temperature valve, which we're going to be playing around later and see how it works, but it's going to help you regulate the temperature at which you're cooking your pizza or whatever else you're using this oven for. So the gas connection depends on which country you're from. But in Europe, we have this system. The instructions say to push this button, and as we push the button, we put this in. And then once it's inside, use this lever on the side, and you lock it into place. For some basic gas safety, we need to check if there are no leaks. So the best thing to do is a little bit of water and soap, and we just spray around the connections. And if there's a gas leak, you actually start getting bubbles, which is not happening here, so it's all good. Same thing we test in this connection. So to switch it on, we press this, we turn, you can hear the fire, we're on. So this is on full blast. We're gonna see how long it takes to get to 400 degrees, the temperature of the stone, which is the temperature we need to start cooking our pizza. So right now, you take one of the little gadgets, and already the stone, after 2 minutes that this thing has been on, is 126 degrees Celsius. So it wouldn't be a food review if we didn't try every single gadget that came along. So let's try the bottle opener. And I can say, it opens beer. Cheers to that. So it's been 30 minutes exactly. Our temperature is about 370. So we need a little bit more before we start cooking the pizza. A couple of things to notice. First of all, it blackens the round. Kind of bothers me a little bit. I'm sure it wipes off, but it's something that happens. And the protective layer, yes, it does protect a little bit, but it's scalding hot. I mean, you can tap it, but you can't really touch it. So you still need to be pretty careful if you have it around the house with kids, because it's still a dangerous equipment. Now let's make our pizza. Some similar on the bottom, and I've got a pizza recipe in the channel, so I'll just put a link to it. This has been resting overnight. And my goodness, we picked the hottest day of the year to do this. It's boiling in here. Bit of similar on the top. So we made really nice air bubbles while this was resting overnight. So what you're trying to do is trying to push them out around the crust. And there are a lot of different techniques of how to stretch it. I'm not a pizzaiolo, so I'm not going to try to teach you one. I find that the easiest way for me to do it is that once you manage to push them out and you have the little crust around, you're just using one hand to hold it and the other one to turn it. So like this, you're protecting the crust and you're also stretching the dough. Now let's look at the fire. The great thing about these pizza ovens is that the fire goes all the way at the top of the structure, which means that you're using the stone to cook the bottom of the pizza and you're using the fire to cook the top of the pizza. And even when you lower the knob to the minimum, you still have the fire which goes all the way over the pizza. After 40 minutes, we've got the temperature at the bottom, which is 440, 430. Temperature here is about 380. So given this is the first time I'm doing it, I'm just gonna lower this to half the flame. I just don't want it to burn it too quickly. So we're gonna add a little bit of our tomato sauce, some fior di latte mozzarella, some parmigiano reggiano. Take our peel, put it over it, give it the last final stretch. And here is this nice, quick, smooth movement. In it goes. And at this temperature, with this oven, this thing is gonna cook in 1.5 minutes, maximum 2 minutes. So keep an eye on it. We need to make sure that we turn and we don't let it burn, because of course, towards the flame is much hotter than towards the exit. So we need to turn it every few seconds. It's been about 30 seconds. So we take it out. See over here, already started to cook, and the crust is starting to make these little air bubbles, which is what we want. So we turn it 180, and that goes in. Again, another 30 seconds, probably even less. 90 degrees turn, goes back in. And that's done. It took literally 1.5 minutes. Let's make some space. Put it here. Swirl of extra virgin olive oil. Few basil leaves. So if we lift it up, we have a nice crust, good sound to it. So let's slice it. Nice texture here of the crust. Nice air bubbles. And while we wait for this to cool down, a couple of considerations. This was super easy to control the heat, to maintain the heat through time, to let it get to temperature. If I compare it to when I use the Ooni, this is a lot more user-friendly. Switch it on, you're in town. Also for the cooking, I find, for instance, with the Ooni, because you have to use the wood, the management is a little bit more complicated. This seemed very easy. I'm sure the pizza is going to taste great, but let's wait a minute. And a pro tip that I want to share with you that my brother-in-law pizzaiolo told me: when you're making loads of pizzas one after the other, because these are not industrial size stones, when you put the pizza in, the stone drops the temperature quite a lot. So before putting the next pizza, always make sure to use the gun, make sure it's 400 degrees Celsius, and then put the pizza again. Because if you put one after the other, you're dropping the temperature, you're not gonna get a good crust over time. So let's try this out. Oh, still super hot. What can I say? It's a great pizza, great crust. I love this little thing. We're actually gonna have a little party tonight where I'm gonna use this for like 10, 11, 12 pizzas. So looking forward to use it. And I've gotta say, for the price, which retails at $399, it's portable, it's easy to use. I can see this being used time and time again because it's just so easy. So definitely a good buy. So buon appetito.